Hello YouTubers. Well, this is a follow-up video to the one that I guess the last video here about me, well, dealing with that forest fire that came through here, uh, or came up to the community anyways. We got very fortunate here. We did not get burned out. Um, uh, the next day after that last video that I took there, um, my community got evacuated along with the four others that I mentioned earlier that had been evacuated. Um, I chose to stay, and a few of my neighbors here that are bush savvy and fire savvy, we've all worked on fire lines at different times in our lives. So is it something that I suggest to anybody? No, absolutely not. If you're given an evacuation order and people are telling you to get out, that's the best thing to do, is get out. That's not recommendation or advice to anybody else to do the same as what I did. I chose to stay on my place. Authorities were aware that I was here, and I took full responsibility for myself and my own safety being here. Uh, my brother joined me here along with his son, my nephew, another relative. I also have a cousin that has a property here behind me here. He decided to spend time at his property and to lend a hand with me if needed be. Deciding to stay and fight is not something you take lightly. When you have people that you can trust your life with, and they trust their life with you, well, that's a big reason why you fight for your home. And well, like I say, not everybody has that option, and I'm fortunate enough to, you know, you have good people in your life. It goes a long ways. So that's part of the reason why I stayed. But well, like I say, if you gotta get out, get out. Don't risk your life for possessions. Uh, for us, it's kind of a thing we've done for generations in our family. Well, we're of a different breed, I guess. So after the end of the last video here that evening, that's when we decided to start moving out certain things of possessions and documents and all. You know, your important personal papers and documents, stuff like that. Some of my higher end tools, things like that, that didn't want to leave in case everything did go up, because you never know. It can happen. Like I say, we came pretty close to that. That night it wasn't actually bad. The next day got worse. The wind turned absolutely in the total different. The wind spun around in the total opposite direction as what we were fearing it was going to do, and that's exactly what it did. And it pushed it right up here, not far behind my farm here. As a precautionary measure, late in the day, when it got real bad here, I took my big skidder, the Screaming Demon. I went out behind my workshop here in my yard. I have some forested area here. Even though I live here all the time and I know better, like most of us, you get complacent and you don't always fireproof or fire guard your property the way you should. So this was a wake-up call and a reminder to take care of that in the future. And basically now it is taken care of, because a lot of not just the brush got cleared out, but a lot of trees got knocked down and pushed out too. So there's still some more there now, the scraggly skinned up ones left behind. So at this point now I just need to cut a bunch of firewood out of there and clean up, and well, I'll be knocking down a few more after, because I'm not going to just leave a few scattered ugly trees at that point. So, and it'll just be maintained as an open area where I can brush mow with a tractor. Or if need be, again, in an emergency situation, all the stumps, I will be stumping it out and taking out the rest of the stumps that are left. I've got a backhoe and I got that machine, so I can get a lot of things done. So I'll be cleaning that up, so if need be, it can turn it back into bare dirt again. Last evening here, when it came close, fire crews were scrambling, and what saved our bacon is a last minute thunderstorm, rainstorm that rolled in. They had been forecasting already for 2 days. We were supposed to get a bunch of rain, and it didn't happen, and that's why the fire got so close to our town and other communities here as well. They started breaking new fire lines here, just behind the community as a precaution, not right by the fire, but trying to stage it or get ahead of the fire, trying to, like I say, break its run. We were getting into evening. They were hoping if it didn't rain that I guess they could stop it, as usually when the cooler temperatures come in the evening, the fire will drop down. And but like I say, we had a windy day again. Unfortunately, there it had picked up. It had been quiet for a day and a half, or a little, well, roughly 24 hours, I guess. And then it had picked up here just before the rain came in, unfortunately, for about 12 hours there. So it really drove the fire. It was last calculated to be somewhere around the 9,000 hectares. Once final tally is in, it'll probably be more than that. For the rest of us that work in acres, well, that would be 22,000 plus acres, I guess, in size, just in this fire zone here, what happened. Part of fireproofing here, what they were doing, a little bit of an unfortunate turn of events for me, which may or may not be good for me in the long term, I don't know. One of my major hayfields here north of me just happened to be on the edge of that fire line, and local authorities here decided to take measures. They brought in a large local other farmer here with a very big grainland equipment, and they took a sod busting disc to my hayfield and literally tore the whole field up from one end to the other over close to 150 acres there anyways. So now I've lost my whole field for this coming summer. There will be, I guess, restoration work, and it will get replanted, because that's part of the deal. They wreck it, they got to fix it. But unfortunately, we all know how long it takes sometimes dealing with government agencies and who's going to pay for what. So I've been promised that it'll be done here, seeing that it is in May. It's supposed to be taken care of here for the growing season, so we can get it replanted with a cover crop and all that, and the hay crop for the coming years. It'll be an upgrade to the field if it's done correctly. You don't know how that's going to go. When you end up dealing with different levels of government and who's going to pay for what, well, that can get interesting. There was already a suggestion made to me that maybe I should apply for to a local conservation district or for restoration work. Well, I'm not the one that's going to be doing the restoration work. So anyways, as we all know, I guess, I'm not going to get any more into it at this point. So long as my hayfield gets reworked, reseeded, and put back into production, and as long as it's done in a timely manner, then yes, it will undoubtedly benefit me, I guess, by having a refreshed forage field. We'll see how this all plays out here. I'm going to go ahead here and show you folks here some of my fire guard work that I did just behind my yard here to protect my property with my machine. I'll take you out to my hayfield and show you the mess out there. Unfortunately, I have hay bales that were still left on the field that I didn't get to picking up last fall. I had quite a bit in the yard here, and fire is always a concern, and it's something always on my mind. Some people think it's sloppy the way I do things. I don't always pick up all my hay bales. I'll leave them there for the winter, and once I've fed down my reserve of bales that I have in the yard, I actually feel better about not having so many bales in the yard. It's less of a fire danger for any reason. Could be a lightning strike, kids playing around with matches, somebody throws a cigarette butt. You never know. You never know. It could not be a forest fire. It can just be human caused, other reasons, or somebody's vehicle breaks down on the side of the road in front of my place and has electrical fire, and vehicle catches fire and it can burn your whole farm down. It has happened to people all over the country, we know. So these things happen. So by leaving sometimes hay bales out in the field, it spreads my risk out. I could have lost the bales there, or I could have lost the bales in the yard here, but in doing so, I still have access to feed and bedding, out in various hayfields if you don't pick all of it up. So it's a good plan to always not. It's nice to have everything done at the end of your farming season and all tucked away in your yard, but if there's a disaster or something goes wrong, sometimes it's not always so nice to have it all at home. So sometimes there is a benefit to doing things what maybe seems like a little bit helter-skelter, but I assure you there's usually always a reasoning behind it for why I do the things the way I do. So other people think it's sloppy or bad practices, but no, there's some thinking put into it behind the reasons why some of it is done the way it's done. But anyways, I'm going to take you folks for a walk here in my backyard and show you the mess that I made for myself, and then we'll take you out to the hayfield and show that the mess that somebody else made for me at the moment. So, well, anyways, the old 450 Timberjack was pressed into service here once again. The old girl did what I asked of her, did a bunch of fire break work here in my backyard. Go ahead and show you what the mess I made for myself here anyways, but well, this stuff has to be done. That's just how it is. In an emergency situation, you don't fart around. Scratch the sod all up and chew things up and get it so that things don't burn. I have a wild area here behind my yard here that's was kind of left for nature, but unfortunately nature doesn't always play nice in return. So from now on, this is going to be pretty much cleared out of brush and most of the trees in here. My workshop is right over here and my house is on the other side of the shop over there. But I came in here on the back side of my yard here and made this fire guard out to my property line over there, and then veered off over here this way and made a trail and cleared it here down to the bare dirt all the way out past my cousin's place. He's on the west side of my property, and I made him a fire line down along his property line there. So built us a fire break here for our two properties, and I went ahead and cleaned up a bunch of brush here and stripped down the grass and sod and churned everything over, and I came back in and backbladed a little bit here yesterday, cleaned up here. This is a few days after the fact now, but I do have my other back cattle pasture over here and everything's grazed down there, but the fire danger, if it would have came, could have wrapped around and came in from the backside here. There's a neighboring property out over there where they don't maintain it, they don't look after the property. It's just another wild area. There's long grass and pine trees in there and all kinds of stuff there that is combustible, and well, forest fire comes in, it would end up creeping in on the ground here. In the poplars it wouldn't do much, but with this wild area here and brush and grass and stuff here behind my buildings here, it adds a extra layer of risk that well, I'm not willing to take anymore. So going forward, this is just going to be well, a fire guard break in here. I'm still going to leave some of my trees. I'm not going to knock everything down, but I'm going to be fireproofing more here by expanding my fire guard here by taking out some more of these bigger poplars here. A lot of them are, tops are dying and drying up in them anyways, and they're becoming these other, like over you see over there, I'll zoom in if I can. Trees like you see there, those dead poplar stubs there, what they become chimneys, where they'll burn into the stump or the bottom, and then the fire will work its way up, and then they shoot sparks out the top, and then they'll seed sparks way out back towards your main buildings, or keep seeding sparks in and setting fire further and further. So that kind of crap there. I knocked down a whole bunch over here on the ground here. Actually, I've got about 20 of them here that I didn't even realize that I had in here. And some are still okay for firewood, and others are just rotten mush. So the solid ones will get cut up for firewood, and all those other ones, well, they'll just get piled up in the back corner here. I'm going to make a burn pile, so in the wintertime when there's snow, I can just take and get rid of it for once and for all for good, so it's no longer a risk to anybody. So I'll show you here what the mess I have a little further up the trail. Oh, you can see here I got quite the mess going on here. This got into where I had some real heavy trees here. I couldn't push multiple stems at a time. The machine is got quite a bit of capacity. It can knock down a pretty good sized tree, but that's one tree at a time, or even two. But when you get 4 or 5 or 6 in front of your blade. When they're heavy like they're some of the bush I have here on my property, you simply have a hell of a time getting them laid down. I did stirred up a bunch of dirt anyways, so if a fire would have came, a low ground fire, if it was a raging runner up in the trees now, something like that wouldn't do you much good. But if you can get the stumps rolled over and get some dirt exposed and stuff, it'll break you a fire line enough that you have a chance if it drops down to being a low crawling ground fire. But like I say, now I've oh boy, I've got a whole bunch of trees I gotta cut up here. Like I say, I'll be buzzing away in here when the time and weather permits. At some point here I'll be cutting a bunch of firewood, so more chainsaw content. Well, this is the one half of my field here on the north side of it. They ran it over one pass, and like I say, a big braking disc, and it's all this chewed up sod there. So anyways, rough like a bugger. I'll take you around here to the other side here, where on the south side where I got a bunch of bales there. Show you that there, where the bales are mixed in with the sod. Sorry for the wind noise. Anyways, you get the idea of the mess here right around the bales here. That's a single pass with braking disc cutting it about 6 inches deep, and they just churned everything up and left it for now anyways. I don't know what there is here, about 40 bales scattered out in different parts of the field. I picked up some, but I didn't get all of them. Oh boy, I don't know how the hell I'm going to get out here to these bales. They went through here, and like I say, everything's all chewed up, so my little tractor that I got there, I'm not going to be able to get in here to get to those bales. And I'm going to have to get them out of here at some point so they can finish working it if and when they ever do get to it. So, like I say, promises made, but we'll see what happens. Just give you an idea here. Well, anyways, the coming days and weeks here will tell the tale. Well, there you have it. You got the tour of everything. Like I say, sorry I didn't get any video of all the excitement going on here when it was happening here, but the last thing I had time for was taking video. It was all hands on deck, and you do everything you can to get prepared and ready, and you know, at times there's waiting around, but the last thing you feel like doing is talking and filming when you're in an emergency situation. So yeah, there's definitely some tense moments for everybody involved, but we got through it, and thanks to Mother Nature, she saved our butts. So she almost took everything away, but also let us keep what we had. So anyways, I'd like to say thanks to everybody for stopping by and checking out another one of my videos, and we'll see you all on the next one.